Turkish dramas have a tendency to be intense to watch because of their passionate storylines. Many romantic comedy dramas are entertaining to watch because of the characters' humor and comedy touch. So, here are the top 10 most romantic comedy Turkish series with English subtitles to watch this year. Number 10. Bittersweet. The series follows Nazlı, a gastronomy student with huge hopes of one day becoming a successful chef with her own restaurant. She accepts a job as a cook in order to make ends meet. Nazlı starts cooking for Ferit, a wealthy businessman who remains a mystery to her. Ferit, a diligent perfectionist, works to keep everything in order at home and at work. As a result, he leaves explicit instructions every day, which Nazlı never follows. Ferit and Nazlı fall in love, but their path to a happy ending is not without difficulties. Number 9. Be My Sunshine. In this series, Haziran is a city girl who is dedicated to her work in the fast-paced lifestyle of Istanbul. She can't imagine living any other way, but when her firm sends her to an isolated Aegean island to pave the way for a new resort, what begins as her worst nightmare quickly transforms into a life-changing chance when she meets Poyraz, a simple man who is drawn to nature rather than people. Haziran and Poyraz spark an attraction as the two polar opposites quickly fall in love. Number 8. My Sweet Lie. The plot of My Sweet Lie revolved around Necdet, whose wife left him when his daughter, Kara, was a baby. Necdet had always kept Kara in the dark about her mother's absence, saying that she would return on her birthday. Necdet and Suna's lives happen to cross paths by chance. While looking for a local location for his company's picture shoot, Necdet stumbles onto Suna's father's coffee shop. Suna's presence in their lives changes everything for Necdet and Kara. Number 7. Everywhere I Go. The show centers on Demir, a prosperous young man who returns to his childhood house in Istanbul only to discover that Selim was also the previous owner's buyer. Demir and Selim, despite their shared belief that they had discovered a place to call home, quickly discover that they each own only half of the property. Despite their obstinate nature, no one was prepared to make a concession and relocate. Even worse, Selim discovers the following day that Demir, a new investor, has taken over her company when she reports to work. Number 6. In Love Again. In the series, the lovely Zeynep marries a man against her family's wishes and moves to America with him. After giving birth to a child, their marriage ends in divorce, and she decides to go back to Turkey. Fatih is a wealthy and attractive young man whose family sends him to study in America, and he decides to return home. When these two young people meet on the plane, they quickly realize they have a similar ambition to start over without the influence of their families. On the plane, they come up with a scheme and decide to get married. However, what begins as a fraud quickly turns into a happily ever after. Number 5. Cherry Season. Cherry Season depicts the story of Oku, an ambitious university student who aspires to be a top fashion designer and to have her drawings accepted by Anam Dinker, the famous fashion designer. When Oku eventually gets her attention, she meets Ayaz Dinker, the son of Anam Dinker, and meets childhood friend. Ayaz is a charming, flirty architect who has never been in a relationship and doesn't believe in love. For the first time, Ayaz, whose lives cross paths with Oku's, finds true attraction in a girl. Ayaz finds Oku's innocent, childlike actions to be quite endearing. Number 4. Love Doesn't Understand Words. It tells the tale of two different lives. Hayat, a stunning, joyous, and clumsy young woman who lives life to the fullest, and Murat, a handsome, cold, and fastidious young man who takes leadership of his family's business at a young age. As she rushes from one interview to the next, Murat's secretary mistakes her for another and gives her a job. Even though she only intends to work there for a few days before telling her mother the truth and leaving, a series of unfortunate circumstances occur that combine to make a huge mess out of things. Number 3. You Knock on My Door. You Knock on My Door is the most well-known Turkish romantic comedy. Ida is a young, attractive, and intelligent florist. Ida's aspirations of obtaining her degree and relocating to Italy are dashed when the bullet holding company Air cancels the scholarship, which was the only thing standing between her and her dream fulfillment. The unusual duo reached a consensus. Ida will pose as Serkan's fiancé in order for him to restore her scholarship. Number 2. Love for Rent. Love for Rent is likely to stay the gold standard for a great romantic comedy. In the show, Defne, a waitress with little money, passes on to the seductions of a wealthy family when she promises to attempt winning businessman Omer over to her for financial gain. The story begins when Omer, not knowing any better, pretends that Defne is his girlfriend in an effort to stop a horrible blind date. With the help of his greedy Aunt Nariman, Defne manipulates Omer's heart by providing the ideal situation. Number 1. Early Bird. Early Bird tells the narrative of Sanam, a fun-loving daydreamer who embarks on a stormy journey of romantic adventure, abandoning her father's grocery shop to tame the wild heart of Kin, a famous photographer, and teaching them both about love. They meet at an advertising firm run by Kan, who took over the business from his father. Kan is forced to give up his real passion for photography in order to head an agency he despises. He hides his actual feelings but eventually gives into Sanam's allure. That's all for today's video. I hope you found it interesting. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and to click the bell icon to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Thank you for taking the time to watch.